It doesn't look that pretty. It's fine, because it will taste. Yeah. Oh, I didn't use flaky sea salt on it. It really doesn't look great.
SDA. I'm really happy to have you here today, and thank you for being here. For now, I'm gonna pass it down to Manny, who's gonna introduce himself, and then Derek will talk about he's the facilitator. We talk about like where you're gonna be learning for the next 6 weeks. Manny.
Great, thank you, Sergio. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being generous with your time and joining us this early. We definitely are super excited to be able to get you all some awesome marketing education. We've received nearly 90 surveys over the last year, and one of the top 3 things that people keep asking us for is more marketing help. So we've brought in one of the marketing firms that I've worked with pretty closely that knows their stuff really well and is going to be sharing so much over the next 6 weeks. It's 12 hours of no cost education to you. It's going to teach you all you need to know about branding, developing a brand, communicating that brand with your audience, and how to be able to do that effectively online, as well as, you know, with your customers when you meet them. So really excited to have Derek talk way more than I will during this presentation, because Derek's the expert, right? But what I'd like to do is give you a little bit about us, our team, and what we do, so that you know that you're not alone in this process. Entrepreneurship can be very, very lonely, but it doesn't have to be. We have a team of 7 individuals on this team that can help you with all of your business needs, for the most part at no cost, right? So my name is Emmanuel Davila. Feel free to reach out to me. You can call me Manny. I lead our business growth services team, and we're part of the Southland Development Authority, which is an economic development agency that was formed in 2019 by business, civic, and political leaders to bring resources and capacity necessary to achieve transformative and inclusive growth for the Southland region. How do we help? How does our team help? Well, we advise you, we connect you to resources, and we provide you educational opportunities just like this one. We have 4 things that I feel our team does really well. That includes designing special programs. So as we get responses to our surveys, as we talk to individuals throughout the community, we start to develop programming to meet those needs that they're sharing with us. One example is our Tax Pro program, where we help business owners file their taxes and also create their financial statements, professionally done financial statements by one of the top firms in the county, at a very, very low cost. So there'll be more information about that coming out soon. And we also have our Shop Southland pilot program, which is going on right now, where we're assisting small businesses that are very, very Instagrammable, right? They have that feel where you can go in there and you can take pictures and upload them to social media. The businesses have a great story and they're located in really good areas for foot traffic. We're helping them with influencer marketing and being able to help them define their target audiences. So that's another example of special programming. We have our community events, which are super, super important because these events help you network, they help you foster community, they help you make connections. We have an event October 11th at South Suburban College from 8:30 to noon. That'll be a hiring event, and it'll also be a panel discussion around workforce development challenges. So if anyone's having challenges with workforce and finding good talent and being able to hire folks, you definitely want to attend that on October 11th. We can get more information out to you. Our one-on-one tailored expert consulting initiative, this provides confidential and expert business advising services from subject matter experts in a particular subject or field. That could be marketing, accounting, real estate development. We're able to connect you to an expert, either at no cost or at very low cost, to help you get your project off the ground or be able to enhance whatever it is that you're doing in your business. So we've got a couple of testimonials on the website. If you go to southlanddevelopment.org and you go to our news section, you're able to see all of the great people we've worked with and learn more about how we've helped them. Business education, this is where you're at now. We do a number of webinars throughout the year. We do a number of in-person seminars and workshops throughout the year. And we also do cohort training. We just wrapped up 6 weeks of training on business financial fundamentals, helping people become BFFs with their financials, right? And that was 6 weeks of training, 12 hours of training in total at no cost, where people got to learn about their financials. We're looking to do that again either late this year or early next year. So please be on the lookout for that if you're interested in learning more about how to get a better understanding of your business financials. Throughout the year, you'll see our one-off webinars. Our Think Like a CFO series helps people learn how to make decisions like a CFO. Literally, you're able to take your financials and all of your data from your business when it relates to numbers and learn how to make business decisions that can help you with that, with enhancing your business or growing your business, right? So you're able to take this data, you're able to take this number, and you're able to actually analyze it in such a way that it allows you to make sound decisions for your business. We also have expert speakers come in who will talk about how to protect your mental wellness as an entrepreneur, how to unleash your entrepreneurial leadership, how to be a better leader to your employees. There's a number of trainings we do that are very unique that you might not get anywhere else, so please be on the lookout for that as well. We also do government contracting. We provide expert guidance for government contracting at no cost. This means that we can help you do market research and understand if the government is buying what you're selling. We're able to help you get certified as a minority-owned business, a women-owned business, disabled veteran-owned business, etc. We also provide webinars and workshops with that as well, and matchmaking services. And we also help you register with the federal government so that you can get into their SAM system, so you're able to find opportunities and apply for these opportunities. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here for a second. This QR code is what helps us design the programs. Like I said, we design special programs in response to what you tell us you need. The cohorts that we are launching, the one I just mentioned about financials, and this one came out of that survey, right? So you were telling us you needed help with financials. You told us you needed help with marketing, and you also told us you needed help learning about leadership and managing people. So that's why we've created these different opportunities for you to learn, but we wouldn't be able to do that without your participation in the survey. So please take a moment to complete this. Shouldn't take very long. And you can scan this code and it'll take you right to the survey. All right. And with that, I'm going to introduce someone who is extremely knowledgeable in this field, who I think you're going to learn a lot from, Derek Adas of Philomathy Marketing, a serial entrepreneur and marketing expert. Derek, feel free to take it away.
Manny, I can't really see anybody, so I'm going to rely on Manny and Sergio. You guys can hear me very well?
You're a little choppy.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this? Is this better?
Still a little choppy.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm normally a Google Meet kind of guy, so I'll do my best here with the Zoom. Give me 1 second. How about that? Is that a lot better?
Yes.
Much better.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Well, good morning, everyone. I imagine you're all smiling in anticipation of what we're all about to go through together. And I hope that everyone on this orientation gathering will be part of the cohort course. And I look forward to seeing you all, even virtually, and hopefully in some way in person at some point in time in the future. Is there a way that I could share my screen? I think
Yes.
you guys have locked that for me. There it goes. Okay. Let's hit this one. So I wasn't going to go through all this, but then I saw Manny's deck and I said, well, I got to go through a deck too. So just to give a quick overview of Philomathy, and this is more as kind of like to establish credibility, right? Because as much as I appreciate Manny's really kind words about me and my team and what we've done, seeing is believing. So let's just get through it here. And yep, everyone can see this. All right. Yeah, so Philomathy as a company, we're located in the near west side. We're over here by the United Center. We're MBE, service disabled veteran-owned business, Hispanic, and we've been doing this for about 5 years. And we do have some of those certifications that Manny talked about in terms of being listed with the state of Illinois, the Commission on Equity and Inclusion, and then also SAM.gov. That's where those government contracts will come from. And previously it was the Department of the VA had their own, but now it's all SAM.gov. And I'm just going to go through this real quick. So that's me. That's Angelica. She's not feeling well this morning, but she will be part of the course. I'll be instructing the course, but she's a large part of what we do here at Philomathy. And then Simran down there. Simran, this is our lean and mean team. These are a couple clients that we've worked with in the past. We'll blow over that real quick. This is some of our previous work. So we do brand ideation. So kind of from the initial conception of putting something together, putting together brand guides, and to ensure that your messaging is cohesive. And we'll go over, like in some detail, a little bit of what this means for your marketing efforts in the future. I believe that is module 2. We'll be creating a brand identity. All right. Then we do social media strategy. It's pretty standard for most marketing agencies now. There's some form of social media strategy involved. Just going through some of the clients, some of the work. We do website work from basic Squarespace websites to give me 1 second. I'm gonna close some of these things. I think Are you guys still with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. My little window froze, so that's why. All right. So we do websites, and from like real basic like Wix or Wix or Squarespace, to more in-depth websites, which are still kind of like on the more not basic, but like doing WordPress websites. We don't do full on like development of like enterprise systems, software, and stuff like that. We don't go that far, but we can make really good websites that have really high impact functionality. So that's another one. Graphic design, that's kind of that's Angelica's jam. This is some of the stuff that she did for SDA. And I think my connection is a little boggy today, so I apologize for that. So these images might be take a second to render. But yeah, as you can see, before and after of some of the stuff that was done for SDA specifically, which I hope some of you all see some of these things. We kind of take what a lot of people have and just kind of level it up and kind of give it a different feel. Every year we work with the University of Illinois College of Medicine to do their annual newsletter. And actually, Angelica is working on the most updated newsletter for this year as well. This is some other stuff that we've done. And let me see if there's any. So here's a customer touch points. So this one is the contact leads list. Again, my internet's a little slow, so it's going to load, but there's on the side here, you'll see an Excel spreadsheet. This is basically creating like email lists, or like if you do street festivals and you want to gather potential client information, like how do you create that? How do you pull that? How do you not only pull it from the potential client, but how do you aggregate that data in a way that makes it useful later, so that when you query it, like when you go to use it, it's not difficult, right? Email marketing. There is a portion of the course where we will touch on emails. That'll be module 4. And we'll go over some email marketing tactics and kind of best practices for that. So we've done a lot of email marketing. And surprisingly, I don't know if anyone in the room is aware, but emails are actually still an incredibly highly effective way to communicate with potential customers or clients, or whoever your intended target is. We work on intake forms. Again, this kind of goes back to the customer touch points portion, where it's like, if we're going to be gathering customer information, how do we create this information in a way that is useful, like the data is usable later? Then QR code generation, something that Manny touched on earlier for their surveys. QR codes, while there is a little bit of a security risk, depending on who's making the code, they are still very effective in like a snapshot, like a literal snapshot, right? Someone with their camera, they're able to access multiple things. For instance, on my business card, there's a QR code, because I found that when I went to networking events, nobody really remembered that they had my card. And one of the hardest things to do was to put your name into somebody's phone. So I created a contact card where if someone scanned it, it put all my information in their phone. I didn't have to use one of those link. I didn't have to tap, all that. I didn't have to pay $10 for a little device or none of that. So there's multiple ways that you can use QR codes. They're pretty resourceful. And then we do videos. So let me turn this. Yep. So we do videos, and then we do photography. We've been able to generate blogs for clients. This was 2 of our clients who needed to kind of fill out their websites for some SEO purposes with keywords and that kind of stuff, but also to just share general information and to curate an essence of being like the experts in their field. We'll go over a little portion of that in module 5, which is telling your story. Blogs are really important for you to be able to tell your story and kind of establish your credibility to someone at 3 o'clock in the morning when they're looking at your website, you know? Infographics, again, how do you create something that, you know, is a sheet of paper or a flyer or something where you're using maybe even just one side? And how do you pack all that information on there, make it legible, make it credible, and make it not so overwhelming that the person just kind of throws it away, right? So infographics are in itself challenging. So we do infographics, long form documentation. This goes back to like newsletters and books. I believe last year's UIC newsletter Angelica put together was like 55 pages, something like that. So I hold a candle. I can't even hold a candle to her. She's awesome at what she does in that regard. Event invitations and direct mailers. Again, another often overlooked effective way of connecting with potential users of your businesses and services. Direct door mailers. And we'll touch on this stuff a little bit more in detail about the pros and cons of direct mailers. We also do digital signage. Works hand in hand with the graphics. We're able to create the graphics and then put them on the digital signage. We use a little device. We attach it to your screen. And then anywhere in the world, as long as I have internet or you have internet, you can change what's on that screen. It's pretty amazing. And then branded events for promotional products. Pretty self-explanatory here. All right, so this is, let's go back out here. Let me stop sharing. All right. So I think I lost my video, huh? One second. Start video camera. Oh, I think my camera went out. So apologies for that. I will give me 2 seconds. Let me just see if I can restart it. And if not, we're just gonna have to run without it. But you guys were able to see the entirety of the presentation, correct? Or of the slides?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so I wanted to also what I wanted to do in the meantime while I try to wrestle with this camera is tell you what philomathy is. Why did I choose the name philomathy? And I think it's really important to marketing because marketing is all about continuing to stay on the edge of the emerging human behaviors. You know, like people are constantly evolving, and we as humans are constantly evolving and adding new like capabilities to connect with one another. So a philomath is someone who has a lifelong love of learning. And like I stumbled upon that word, and that's kind of how I named the business because I aligned with that. I found myself, that's what I do. I just constantly learn. And so, you know, I want to set a baseline for the course, which is, you know, as you continue on with your own businesses and you grow, a large part of that is going to be continuously learning, right? Not just about marketing. It's going to be about all of the areas that are in depth and pertinent to your business. So in terms of when we go through our journey together with marketing, I want you all to try to put yourself into the mindset of a philomath and understand that this is kind of a lifelong endeavor, right? To be able to connect with people. And so some of the stuff that we're going to go over in the course is going to be like right now information. And because of how fast everything's moving, you know, like let's say AI, that's the easy one right now, right? AI, it moves so fast that some of the things that we'll learn to now, while in practice or while in theory are still kind of true, the application and maybe the actual practice may change a little bit in the future. They may vary. So like, for instance, how you run a Facebook ad today, because Facebook is constantly making updates, it may change in the future how you run an ad. but the basics and concepts of putting together an ad campaign will still more or less kind of be the same. Cool. All right. And then I think if you, Sergio, if you want to go back to the slides for the main deck that you had, I think we
Yes.
can put that back up there so
Mhm.
we're not just looking. And sorry, it looks like I'm not able to restart my camera, so I'll just visualize my face to go with the voice for a couple minutes. Yeah, you can just go over to the what is Philomethy slide. And then, yep, yeah, right there. No, perfect. Go to the modules. Yep.
Right here.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so all right, so let's get into it. I don't want to take up too much more of everybody's time this morning because I'm probably gonna have you for about 6 weeks. So these are the modules that we're gonna go over, right? So module 1, identifying and connecting with your target audience. This is about knowing who you're trying to connect with, right? And I'm gonna keep it really brief on the description of each of these. So module 1, knowing who you're trying to connect with, right? There's no sense in sending messages that cannot be received. So in order for me to send a really effective message to a potential customer, client, or even in SDA's side, they want to connect with you all, right? Business owners and community members who might be able to utilize their services. They need to understand who they're trying to serve and who they're trying to connect with so that they can craft the best messages possible to resonate and actually, reach their intended audience. So that's module 1. Module 2, we'll be creating a brand identity. It's going to be putting your best face forward, right? There's many words that I could say on module 2, and I think I'll save most of it for module 2. But basically, this is about putting your business together in both the traditional and the digital sense, right? Traditional meaning offline. How do you put a sign on the front of your store? What kind of like physical displays do you have and that kind of stuff? And then in the digital sense, what do you look like online, right? Are you a restaurant? Are you a consultant? Are you a manufacturer? Like, how do you present all of this information online and kind of in store, if that makes sense? And then module 3 is going to be the AI tools and automations for digital marketing. So this is a very high level overview of some of the tools that are available that can help you enhance your workflow and create consistency. Module 3, I think, is really important, even though it's going to be high level. We're not going to go super in depth. I'm not going to show you how to use all of them in great detail. We'll do a little bit of overview of some of them. But in terms of the creating consistency, I think it's really important for any business, but primarily small businesses, to figure out a way to be consistent with all of the things that we're going to talk about during this 6 weeks and just basically marketing in general. Without consistency, your marketing efforts will never be as effective as they would had you created this marketing machine that kind of cyclically runs. So just planting a couple seeds here throughout this orientation that I hope we carry on into the 6 weeks. Okay. Module 4 is going to be email lists and campaign strategies. So this kind of for me is the effective communication methods that are often overlooked. The email list, a lot of people don't understand really how effective they are, even though I bet you every single person that's on this call gets a bunch of marketing emails from random companies and or services or things they bought or whatever. And because Google, so a lot of people use Google, right? They created a tab that kind of funnels all those over. I'm one of those people that I kind of open that tab from time to time and I'll look through it. And sometimes there's some really good stuff in there. Maybe I'm looking for shoes this month or whatever. So that's one way that it's still super effective. And another way is some people actually have those come straight to their inbox and they actually interact with those. So we'll go into some of the benefits of really focusing on email lists, and not just for sales, but also for like not just sales of like products, but also for lead lists, for trying to acquire new lines of business or even to follow up on existing lines of business to be consistent with your communication. So module 5 is going to be telling your story, content marketing strategies. So this is about crafting your marketing with vision and purpose. What do you want to say? Why do you want to say this? And how are you going to say it? And when I say, I don't mean just verbally, I mean visually. like holistically as like a whole package. This is the way it looks. This is the way it feels. Sometimes this is the way it smells. Like this is all part of creating a marketing strategy, right? And doing so that has an intended purpose, right? So we're not just spending time, money, energy on what we hope is going to work or what we think is going to work. It's about putting it all together properly with a lot of pre-planning and then really thorough execution. Okay. And then module 6, analytics and measurement. This is about understanding and using data to measure your efforts. I'm I'm a I'm a bit of a contrarian in this regard. I'm a big data person. I grew up in the digital age, and a lot of the education that I've had and throughout my entire life has been based on data, right? A lot of us have without even knowing it. In marketing, there has recently, because of being able to track, like Facebook data and Google data, and I have a restaurant. We have Toast POS. There's data in there, right? There's data everywhere. I I I just want to plant this seed about data. Don't let looking at numbers diminish the reality of human emotion and human connection and human intention, and basically just like humanity, right? Sometimes marketers will get so focused on data that the methods they use to communicate with humans is robotic. And humans don't talk to robots, and robots don't talk to humans. Well, at least not yet, right? So in that regard, uh, keep that in the back of your mind for module 6. And forgive me, I'm going to end with this. I never really formally introduced myself. I apologize for that. And I know doing so at the end is also contrarian. Like I said, my name is Derek. I have an MBA from DePaul, and I also have a public relations and advertising degree from DePaul. And both of those tracks were underpinned with information systems concentrations. So my knowledge in terms of like education and a large part of my work has been wrapped around how to work with people, communicate with people, build business, create efficiencies, increase production at low cost, like just all of that, while working with technology. And then somehow along the way, I decided to open a restaurant. so, so I also own a restaurant, which has given me an incredible incredible access to information that I otherwise would not have had with the whole other side of my education and my work. And so with that, I also have like an even more well-rounded idea of how to work with people. And I know we went through it on the deck really quickly, but with Philomathy, I've worked with clients in the education space, the healthcare space, nonprofit space, different areas, and other restaurants as well, hospitality, hotels. We work with hotels. So I know that a lot of you in the room have, and Sergio shared with me preemptively some of the information that he gathered from you all. I know that you all have different areas of work, right? You all have different businesses and different things. So as we go through the course, I want you to know that I've positioned myself to be kind of omnidirectional in terms of helping small businesses with their marketing. And so don't be afraid to ask me any questions that may be even a little bit deeper into your industry. I might actually have some knowledge into that or some way to connect what I've done for another person in a adjacent industry that could be applicable to what you're looking for. So I'm going to do my best to go through these modules and make it where it's easily applicable to multiple industries. But if there is along the way something a little extra that you need, I want you to write it down and I want you to keep it because after we do the course, there's going to be a feedback response form of some sort. And we're going to want some of this information back from you all on maybe how do we do an additional course or, what could we add to this same course if we deliver it again? Okay. All right, so activities overviews. We're gonna create 2 detailed buyer persona. So each one of these is going to be at the end of each module. You're gonna create 2 detailed buyer personas, and I'm gonna give you a worksheet. A buyer persona is how we're gonna create that fictional, not perfect, but near perfect. This is our target. We're gonna describe who our customer or client is. We're gonna describe who these people are, and that's how we're gonna help formulate a targeted way to communicate with them. The second course will create a color palette for your brand using primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. This is, it's very simple. I think when Angelica gave, it's ironic that I chose this because when Angelica gave for SDA recently, we gave it was a Canva course. I remember specifically sitting down with one business owner like during like the networking part, or just kind of like we're all just kind of working together on individual stuff. And she was having a hard time with her logo. She said, I'm trying to put this logo on this jar, and every time I put it on there, it gets lost. I can't see it. And to me, it was a simple answer, right? But to her, it was very challenging, right? It's because she doesn't do marketing. She makes, it was some kind of jam, or I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something in a jar. And the simple answer was she needed to create a color palette that had different color iterations of her logo so that she could put it on different backgrounds. So nonetheless, that's what we'll be doing for yours. Just trying to create a color palette. It'll help for a bunch of other things. We'll experiment with some AI tools for content creation, and you're going to generate at least one piece of content using AI. Okay. And then as a kicker, I'd like for you to schedule that content for launch using your preferred automated launch method, which I'm going to assume, because I saw that a lot of people have intermediate marketing information. This is basically scheduling a post to launch in the simplest form. Then the next one, we'll draft an outline for your first email campaign. So you'll include the subject line, content, and call to action. Then you'll create a content calendar outlining topics and formats for your next week's content. And then at the end, because we wanted to have like a takeaway for you, and I mulled over in my mind what I feel would be best. And what I feel would be best is what I've done in the past with new clients when I brought them on, because I, as the marketer, I needed to have a better vision of the different parts of their marketing needs. And so it required an assessment. So we're going to have a marketing assessment package, and each individual portion of it is like a worksheet and like an activity. And you'll just basically go through it on your own, right? You go through it on your own. I'm going to leave you with this. It's like 6 different pieces. One of them was a buyer persona, so you'll already be kind of on your way to buyer persona. So, SWOT analysis, positioning, segment profiles, marketing mix, marketing initiatives. I'll explain what all of that is if you don't already know later. And when you leave, having gone through the course, and if you complete the marketing assessment on your own, you should have a really good idea of how to kind of move forward, at least even at the beginner level. All right. Next slide, please, sir. All right. So very simple. Just also wanted to set some class expectations. So during class, active participation is incredibly welcome. So engage in all sessions and discussions that we have. I'm going to do my best. As you can tell, I can talk. That's probably why I'm a marketer, but I can talk, and I'm going to do my best to speak to the topics and give you kind of information as the course progresses. But I also, Sergio and I had a conversation about what kind of style this would be in the course. And when I love school, and the reason why I'm referencing that is what I love about school, or what I love about going to school, is I'd like the discourse. I'd like the discussion. That's where, I don't know, for me, that's the spice of life, man. So I want you all to feel comfortable asking questions, and maybe asking me to pause, virtually raise your hand, through the thing or whatever. And let's talk about something. And I'll do my best to be timekeeper as well and stay on track, because I want to get through all the information, but I want to be able to share ideas with each other, and I want everyone to kind of learn from each other as well. So please engage. Feedback sharing. So during the class, constructive feedback on the course content, please. Let's save the other stuff, the harder stuff, towards the end, because while we're going through the course is what it is now. So I can't really change much in the moment. But I will say, if module 1 and module 2, I get a little bit of feedback. Maybe in module 3, we change a little bit of how it's delivered, something to that effect. That's totally fair. And then collaboration. So it would be in your best interest to network and collaborate with some of the fellow participants in the room. Maybe not during the course, but connect offline with some of the people in the virtual room. And especially if your businesses operate in local area, very close to each other, if not in the same area as each other, I mean, reach out, send them an email, send them a message during or after during the course. Do like a little one-on-one. Sorry, I think my still there. Okay, maybe meet up with each other to do a one-on-one and kind of discuss some of the concepts we talked about in that week's module. Right? Accountability. So this one's gonna be super easy because you're all here because you want to be here. So we'll with that, as you're here, set your baseline personal goals, right? And then continue to work towards them. And then continuous learning, that's kind of the Philomath vibe. So as we go through the course, another thing that I often encounter with businesses is, because you've been doing this thing for however long, it becomes kind of difficult to open up to new ideas or new ways of doing that same thing, even if you're being instructed. I mean, I had people paying me to do marketing for them, and then they would try to tell me how to do marketing. So, yeah, you raise your hand. Oh, Sergio, I think someone's name is still Sergio. It says they raised their hand. I don't have that list of people, so. Let's see, Q&A. Will you go over creating newsletters? I can, to some degree. I think this isn't really this course won't be graphic design, but I can talk about how newsletters are, in the email portion. That's where newsletters will probably come into play. And so okay, yeah. So that's where newsletters will come into play, and so we'll touch on them briefly, yes. I'll save this last question for South SDA, Sergio. So let me go ahead and finish this slide here. Continuous learning. Yeah. So again, people would pay me for marketing, and then they try to tell me how to do marketing. So I want you all to come with an open mentality about some of what I'm going to show you. Again, everything's evolving. So what I would say today, it's not set in stone. It doesn't mean it's right, because technically a lot of marketing is also theory. So it can be tailored to your business in some way. So, and then after the class, yeah, there's an expectation to implement the things that we've learned, right? So take the information you've been consuming and put it into practice. Again, there's going to be some feedback that we're going to be asking from you all after the class, and so fill that out. Collaboration. So continue to collaborate with the people that you networked with during the course. Accountability. Now that you're not meeting with me every week for the next 6 weeks, I'm not, going to be a reminder to stay on track. So as you have set those marketing goals, continue to track them and continue to work towards them, and do that over a length of time. And then continuous learning. So the learning doesn't stop just because the course is over. It's incumbent upon you, and I know your time is probably very limited, as is everyone in the room, but try to carve out a little bit of time to marketing. I don't know if you all have calendars and you map out what you do for your business or whatnot, but put on your calendar a meeting invite with you in marketing. If it's 1 hour a week, let it be 1 hour a week. Imagine it's a client, your client is marketing, and for the rest of your business owning life, you have a meeting with marketing once a week, and you go through whatever you want. If it's watching new videos on new techniques of marketing, if it's reading new blogs, if it's searching out data, industry trends, going over your own information, whatever it is, just spend some time with marketing. And I think that is the last one for me. Yes, Sergio? Yep. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Derek. That was really great information that you provided. So a couple of things I wanted to go over with requirements to join. Clearly have access to a computer or laptop, have access to a microphone, a camera so we can see you and have if you have any questions, have access to reliable internet and be able to attend a 6-week course. And then I'm going to be following up with if you're haven't filled out the STA intake, so I'll be sending you that. So if you already filled it out, don't worry about it. But if you haven't, please do so. And then that's pretty much if you have any questions, you can contact me. This is my information. This is my direct line, and you have my email and for any questions or comments. I know we had a interesting so far. Do we have any questions, anything?
Yes, I think one of the questions someone had is what are the class times?
Oh, so it will be from 8 to 10.
And what are the dates set here?
So that will be October 9th. That will be a Wednesday. So 8 to 10, October 9th, I'll be sending an email with all that information as well, including the link to access those the first class.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. So I don't have I don't have, oh, I think we have another question.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This is Takina D. Lacey. How you guys doing this morning?
Good morning, Takina. I'm good. How are you?
Good morning.
I just wanted to ask, for the cohorts, are the only times going to be 8 to 10? Like you guys are not able to give us some alternatives? Because being business owners, we kind of really can't take off the morning.
Yeah, in our experience, 8 to 10 is what works for the majority of people. But for the next cohort round, we're open to looking at different times too.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? We have go ahead. All right, Joey. You're muted, Joey, just in case.
Okay, all right. So will you guys send out a list of other cohorts that you're going to be offering besides the marketing?
Yes, Joey. Yes. For right now, we currently have the marketing. For the new year, we're thinking of having a women's cohort, and then also how to start your business in Illinois, and then HR. This is called Biz Up, where you're going to be learning anything, implementing regulation, employees, information, stuff like that. So yeah, so we're coming with a couple more for the new year.
Okay.
All right, next.
Yes, I have a question for I believe his name is David. Unless you all work together. Can I have your contact information so that I could work one-on-one just in case I have additional questions?
Yes. Well, I'm sorry. What is your name?
Nubia.
Hi, Nubia. Oh, okay. No worries. Yes. So are you asking my information or Derek's?
Can I get both?
Yes. I'll follow up with an email with you. I have your information. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I would just say any inquiries throughout the course or even after to work with me directly, go through SDA first. They have a wealth of resources that can help kind of facilitate that working relationship in the beginning. So try going through them first. Use the resources of SDA from Manuel and Manny and Sergio. And then they'll direct you to me if it's kind of like a warm handoff or something that they're unable to kind of facilitate on their end. Okay.
Got you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
I have a quick question. I guess maybe I don't know how we would do this, but Sergio, is there any way that I can like get a show of hands? Maybe if everyone raises their hand at the same time. How many of you all on the call today are intending on signing up for the course? There, yeah, nice. Okay, so that does work. All right, cool.
Mhm.
Very nice. Okay, great. Thank you all for that. Okay, good. So I'm good, Sergio or
Mhm.
Manny. Do we have anything else to say or to present?
I
Should
think
I just say thank you?
there were.
Just a couple of housekeeping items when everyone joins the cohort next week or on the 9th. So it's going to be more in a meeting format. So similar how Sergio, Derek, and I are interacting, everyone will have that same ability to interact. And there's going to be times where you're going to be passionate about a subject and you're going to want to get your question out or your thought out, right? There are times where you may disagree with some information. There might be a discussion that kind of sparks some strong dialogue, right? Like everybody is a business owner, everybody has a lot of experience and brings a lot of that to the table. We just want to make sure that everyone in the room is seen, is heard, and has the opportunity to express themselves and feel comfortable doing so. So all we ask in that is that if you have a question during that time, just raise your hand like we're doing now, right? And then we'll go ahead and call on you. There are times where you might be motivated to take yourself off mute and just kind of blurt out your thought and join the conversation, which is awesome. We love that energy. We just want to be respectful of everyone else and make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to get their thoughts out. So there may be a time where someone might ask a question, but we might say, hey, hold on, this individual had their hand up or this individual asked something in the chat first. So we're just going to go in order. Derek is only one person, right? But is managing multiple individuals on this call. I might not see someone ask a question or kind of raise their hand first. So it's not an oversight. It's just a matter of how this kind of virtual setup is. So we're just going to ask everyone, for a little bit of patience and grace as the cohort kind of picks up its rhythm and everyone can participate in the dialogue accordingly. So that's just a little housekeeping item to make sure everyone is seen and heard. I do see a couple of hands here. We have questions here from 3 attendees. We'll answer those and then we'll wrap it up.
I think they just left their hands when.
Yeah, that was when I was asking
Okay.
for
Mhm.
for people to join. No, that's cool. I think we answered all the questions. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, one thing on the webcam thing, as a final, when we do the course, and I will fix my internet. I'll make sure we're all good to go, so I won't have these issues either. But I'd love to see everybody's faces. So if that would be very helpful for me. It's definitely gonna help me with the nonverbals on how we're going through the course. So if you'd be so kind, please have your webcams on and available as we go through the course. And I'll just finish my part and mute my microphone for the day. I just want to say again, thank you everybody for being a part of this orientation, and then subsequently to those who are going to be joining us for the cohort. I'm super grateful for Manny and the SDA team for asking me to deliver this course and put it together in cooperation with them. And so I'm really excited to do it, and I'm really looking forward to like helping all of you all with what you're trying to achieve. So thank you for letting me be a part of that.
Awesome, Derek. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us. We look forward to seeing you. Take care, everybody.
Excuse
See you next week.
real quick, I have a question. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
I also I'm an educator as well, and I have a period of time in the morning where I am available. Are these going to be recorded so that we can go back and take a look at them and take additional notes?
So these will not be recorded. The format is live.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I think that's it, Manny.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. You as well, Derek.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.